Shibe, and I am a guest host this hour of the Bitcoin Game. I would like to thank Rob for giving me the opportunity to speak to listeners of this show and members of the Let's Talk Bitcoin community. As you can tell from my pseudonym, I am a member of the altcoin community Dogecoin and a host of my own show called Musings of a Shibe podcast. It was at this point in time last year that I became an active part of the cryptocurrency world. And the reason why I became part of the Doge community was due to the fun nature and basically the Dogecoin, as pretty much everyone knows, it was started as a joke coin. It was not truly meant to take off in the manner that it did. But when it did, it allowed people for the first time who may have been interested in cryptocurrencies or have heard about cryptocurrencies to be able to participate in an active manner in the crypto world, which has greatly enabled the cryptocurrency space to expand. A number of altcoins have developed since the creation of Dogecoin. Many members in the Doge community have also become part of the Litecoin community and the Bitcoin community. But in general, the space has garnered more attention and expanded. So that's enough a little bit about me and what brought me to Dogecoin and to this, and in particular to this show. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to share what I normally do with my audience, just my thoughts and a little concerns and ideas that are happening within the cryptocurrency and the peer-to-peer and sharing economy space. First, the news. The IFCA, which stands for the International Financial Cryptography Association, is holding a conference in Barbados, March 7th, 2015. They made this announcement about 3 or 4 days ago, and the purpose of the conference is about enhancing privacy in Bitcoin, primarily dealing with the issue of coin mixing, the types of coin mixing programs that are out there, from either peer-to-peer to a centralized system, to the rise of altcoins that are seeking to deal with the issue of privacy within Bitcoin. Primarily the case of attaching a user or individual to one particular Bitcoin address. So that conference will be taking place in March 7th of 2015. The first conference and the conference to come up is taking place in a few days, January 6th in Las Vegas, which is the Consumer Electronics Show. This show, which is the trade show for a lot of the electronic and technology companies out there, there's going to be a few big Bitcoin announcements, so keep your eye on that as far as the news articles and tweets. But primarily, my biggest thing that I want to see is whether or not IBM is actually going to announce their version of blockchain technology adaptation of using that blockchain technology for the purpose of securing and storing documents and files. That's something that they made an announcement about. I spoke about it on my two-part episode about the Sony hack. It's all about control. So I'm looking to see whether or not that's actually going to happen. I haven't seen any posts or any tweets or anything since the initial announcement that IBM was going to do this, but I'm hoping that they are, and that's going to be a big deal. And also, there's supposed to be a few ATM and hardware announcements at this particular Consumer Electronics Show. So that's something to look forward to. In other news, every year towards the end of the year, there's always, because of the holiday, a thing about gift cards. And this particular article from the New York Post deals with the fact that there's $44 billion just sitting on gift cards in the United States. That is a lot of money that is being unused. And considering from this article from the New York Post that 80% of shoppers are expected to buy a gift card this past holiday season, that's spending more than $118 billion in all. That's a lot of money. Basically, a lot of this is, people will, like, particularly with myself, like, if I don't use the full amount, there's like maybe 5 cents, 6 cents, 86 cents, and they don't ever use that card again. Maybe they're not going back to the store or whatever. So there's just little bits of change are sitting on all these people's cards. And I personally never realized that it was that large of an amount of money just out there being unused. That's just obscene. Another bit of news in Dogecoin news, there's an effort to try to purchase Reddit Gold. If you are a Reddit user and you go through the various subreddits and you use Dogecoin, you could potentially within 2015 be able to purchase Reddit Gold directly from the site. You don't have to go through any other type of service to purchase Reddit Gold. You can do it directly through a bot. I have a link in the show notes about that subject. The individual who created the program is seeking somebody who's willing to basically run it. This individual doesn't have the serving capacity or the server capacity or the time to run it. But that's something interesting. It's something exciting. I think that would help spur a bit of for Dogecoin, a bit of usage on Reddit. And then in other news, some more follow up on the Sony hack situation. Factum, which is a service, is seeking to use the block technology to secure documentation. I actually never heard about it when I was talking about the Sony hack situation. I knew about storage, which seeking to do the same thing with cloud storage. We're using block technology and peer-to-peer means to store documents and safely and securely. Factum is another company that's doing the similar thing. I don't know the details of Factum in itself, but they did release a video a couple of days ago, and I have a link in the show notes, where they discuss and talk about how Sony could have protected themselves if they had used both Factum and storage to safely secure their documentation. So not only do I have a link in the show notes about that, but I also have a link in the show notes to the Factum video and the Factum site with the white paper, which is something I'm going to be reading within the next couple of days to figure out how Factum is different from storage and made safe, and what they're all particularly about. But that's just a little bit of follow-up and a little bit of an update. Another update, a little bit of an update, or should I say, is that Pirate Bay is seeking to use block technology, but in particular BitTorrent, to become peer-to-peer to kind of combat all their ISPs always constantly being seized or stopped or blocked. So that is something to look forward to in 2015. It's just an increase usage of decentralized systems to safely secure information utilized on the internet, but most importantly, to distribute information in a safe and secure manner. Upon seeing the Factum video and seeing how the system I had not heard about before, I had heard of storage, but I had not heard of Factum, was taking their concept and storage together to enable Sony or any large corporation to protect their information, basically a demonstration of their product. It made me think upon the promise that Bitcoin protocol has of taking the concept and reapplying it to a number of different types of technologies and systems. In particular, for the case of storage made safe and Factum, the protection of cloud information, protection of documentation, because Bitcoin, the protocol itself, does not have to necessarily be used for the purposes of digital currency for money. It's being repurposed all over the place. People have taken that concept and applied it to different ideas. And I thought, well, perhaps maybe we can take that blockchain concept, take what Factum has demonstrated in their video, and apply it to already existing systems instead of building parallel systems, which are great, or building already different or unique systems, which I think is a good thing to do. For example, the different message service apps that have popped up that incorporate Bitcoin or Dogecoin within them as a means of no longer having a centralized means of communicating with somebody. But I was thinking of, what if we were to take the blockchain technology and apply it to an already existing company? For example, like MySpace, which is a social media app that has, or a social media platform that has become a bit defunct, has fallen from grace in usage. What if the blockchain protocol was applied to MySpace? And instead of having a centralized social media system, it is now distributed through a peer-to-peer means. It's protected by the cryptography that enables the blockchain to exist. But more importantly, the control of the social media platform is no longer in the hands of MySpace. All that information is no longer in the hands of MySpace in a centralized manner, but that in the users. And it's a very more of a user-controlled, user-driven platform. So while we can create other social media platforms like Gems, which is an attempt to create a social media platform, and they're having a token sale which will end in 5 days. Why not just take block technology, approach companies that are no longer, you might say, are vulnerable or it can be purchased for a song, and take the block technology and reapply it? Because people are familiar with MySpace, they're familiar with that brand, but they're not familiar with blockchain technology. They're not familiar with Bitcoin or any cryptocurrencies in general. While Bitcoin and Dogecoin have gained some popularity and there might be some sort of familiarity with it, the understanding as far as mass awareness has not exactly quite hit yet. But if you were to take something like a MySpace or even a LiveJournal or any other already existing social platform or social usage, like for example Twitter, and you were to apply the blockchain technology underneath it, you wouldn't have to explain block technology to anybody. You would just have to have someone use the product and demonstrate it through action. And this would be a way to sort of ease the entry barrier that people have when it comes to cryptocurrencies, when it comes to Bitcoin in itself. I mean, think of all the different platforms that exist out there that could benefit from blockchain technology. Instead of just creating a company from scratch, you could, in essence, just repurpose blockchain technology. For example, like BitTorrent and Pirate Bay are discussing using blockchain technology and peer-to-peer systems to distribute their information, to distribute their content for their users. Well, what if Sony were to take Crackle and apply block technology to distribute the movies that it has? I mean, Netflix, when it was in the heat of the battle in regards to Cox? No, it's not Cox, but Comcast and Time Warner, and then wanting to have the two-tier internet platform, they considered for a brief moment going to a peer-to-peer distributive system to protect its users, to protect its company. So that way its platform can be distributed across the internet and not necessarily be at the mercy of these IPs that currently exists. One of the often cited means upon which the internet early off had such a success and adaptation was because instead of typing numbers or for a web address, you would actually type a name for a web address. That particular protocol that was developed enabled people to easily access and have an ease of usage of navigating the internet. Instead of remembering all these long serials of numbers, which are the actual web address, there was a protocol built on top where people don't see that. All they see is the name of a site like MySpace or LiveJournal. So imagine for the 2015, we see a greater adaptation of blockchain technology just being applied to already existing systems. I mean, it would help and enable an ease of usage of Bitcoin in and of itself if people don't even realize that they are using blockchain technology, if it was adapted to something, for example, like MySpace or LiveJournal. But what about if Microsoft, because they're now accepting Bitcoin, were to apply block technology to Xbox, in particular Xbox Live, where you could now share games with your friends, and there's not a concern on the case of Xbox that these games are going to be taken off the system and being pirated because it's on the blockchain, and you would have to have you have to be part of the blockchain in order to be able to play or view these games. You may be able to share this information and it can be distributed across the already existing Xbox Live network. I mean, that's something that could be done. I mean, that's something that people want to be able to do. They want to be able to share the digital information much like they used to share the physical disc. disks and physical items, whether it be books or movies or discs, that in this particular case for games. So for me, for 2015, I feel that the killer app for Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies is not going to be a killer app. It's going to be the application of block technology to already existing legacy systems in a big and broad manner. It's not going to be an app that's just going to be so easy for anybody to use that your grandma can use it. It's going to be someone taking the blockchain technology, applying it to an already existing system that your grandmother is already using. And this is what I feel will enable and allow for a broader mass consumption of Bitcoin, or cryptocurrencies in general, because with the application of block technology, Bitcoin is just going to be right behind it, because how are you going to pay for the system? You're not going to utilize the legacy system of the credit card industry. You're going to use that blockchain, but already secure, safe blockchain technology that you're using to enhance and better improve your product. In this case, for Xbox Live, the distribution of games on the Xbox Live system. So what do you think could be an already existing legacy system that could benefit from the blockchain technology? What do you think that could benefit from the blockchain technology that nobody is thinking about, that's not on anybody's radar? But if people were to apply that technology to their already existing system, it would greatly benefit not only that system that maybe you use or people that use it, but would enhance the awareness of Bitcoin, the grandma effect, where anybody could use blockchain technology, but more importantly, anybody can use eventually Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency as far as a payment platform. You can express your thoughts below on the subject matter below in the comments. You can also share what you think that could be the blockchain technology, but could be applied to the blockchain technology. What systems or platforms that exist currently could be, I guess you can say, blockified, or what is out there that's not being discussed or is not on anyone's radar that could definitely benefit from the blockchain technology, but most importantly that the cryptocurrency world could benefit from people using this particular platform or this particular type of technology. So again, just comment below. I would like to thank Rob for allowing me to participate and guest host on this hour of the Bitcoin Game. Before I leave you, I'm going to give a quick charity shout out to March for Doge. March for Doge, if you're not unaware, is a charity run that's taking place in Minneapolis in March of 2015. Sign-ups for that march will be taking place within a couple days. There will be a link in the show notes to that charity. They've already raised 3 million Dogecoins for this. It is for the March of Dimes charity program. So stay tuned for the magic word for the program. The magic word of the day is hoopty. Again, the magic word is hoopty. Hooptie. That's our show. You can find me, Hero Job Shibe, on Twitter at Musings of a Shibe, on Facebook at Hero Job Shibe. You can find the show on Facebook, Tumblr, and Reddit as Musings of a Shibe podcasts. You can listen to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, and TuneIn Radio. I'd like to thank you very much for listening, and to the moon.